real talk, I don't even know what my name is right now. So
No.
that don't work.
And you were like, I'm gonna let you take a day. I was like, what is she talking about?
I'm gonna hold your hand while I say this.
Okay, this is reading between the lines. We're both emotionally unstable, but that's okay because we're doing it together. So go team.
Welcome to Reading Between the Lines. Today we are talking about Sjm Universe Theories. I should have said Sarah J. Maas Universe Theories. The Mass Universe. Mass Universe? I don't know. Whatever her name is. She ACOTAR and Throne of Glass and Crescent City, and there are a lot of theories out there. And we have some of our own, so we're going to talk through those because, yeah, I think that we have a lot to talk about. So we're going to talk about all those theories and kind of just see where it takes us. Book news! Book news!
Oh, it's like alerts start flashing.
Book news!
It's like the echo from the Grinch, you know, when he's like talking to himself with the cane. So the first one is, have you seen people talk about alchemized?
No.
Okay, so it's based off of a fanfic, a Hermione fanfic, and Hermione is a ship name for Draco and Hermione from the Harry Potter series. And I love the series, and you know, I love like crack ships and all those things, but I personally don't know if I could read a fanfic that's based off them. And I don't know if they kept the names, or I think they might have changed it from the fanfic to the actual book. But like everyone's talking about it, I'm like, my brain wouldn't be able to handle that. Like I'd be like, okay, what was from the movies and what was from this fanfic?
Wait, is it an actual but J.K. Rowling didn't write it?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
But
okay.
So I think that they changed the names and like maybe some of the stuff, but it's based off of a Hermione fanfic, and I keep seeing it literally everywhere, and I kind of want to buy it, but then again, I'm like, I've watched those movies so many times, and I feel like it's just gonna mess with my brain. Like,
what is it called? I want to look it up.
Alchemized.
Oh wait, I have seen this.
Yeah, and apparently I think it's getting a show. It's becoming a show or a movie.
It's this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, I keep seeing it. And I okay, but here's the thing, I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't I never read more to see what it was about because I'm like, that looks creepy. I don't think I'm gonna like it. Now I know what it's about.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, the book looks really cool, but knowing that it's a Hermione fanfic, and not hating on Hermione, like I love a good crack ship. To anyone who's watched Harry Potter, like I ship Drarry so much, and I love when people ship Hermione. And I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but people know who watch it. They know what I'm talking about.
I know a little bit. I don't know a lot. I know a little bit.
Okay. But anyways, I love a good crack ship, but I just don't think I could read a full book about a crack ship. Like about that.
Well, maybe you should and then see what happens.
Maybe. I like watching the edits. Like people can make pretty crazy edits and create scenes basically that weren't even there but look so real. I love that.
Fair.
I love that. But then Drarry, you're probably like, what are you talking about? They actually do have scenes, and I actually ship them.
And so I've seen the movies, but I feel like I'm too old to read the books. But he's like, you love books, you should read them. And I'm like, I don't know.
That's me too. I don't want to read the books, which I know probably hot take, but I love the movies so much, like so much. So I probably won't read the books.
Listen, they were really creepy. Okay, not like the first four, but they were really creepy as movies. So like, I don't know if I can read that.
That's so funny you say that, because like the first three, I would say. Oh well, the first three are like children's movies, kind of like they're meant for kids. The last, like how many ever, are like darker, and those are the ones I rewatch the most. Like,
what does that say about Emma?
Is the one I watch. Half-Blood Prince and Order of Phoenix are the ones I watch constantly.
Half-Blood Prince, that's the one that's creepy.
Yeah, and I love rewatching it. Like that one I've seen so many times. People We Meet on Vacation. Have you heard of that book?
Yes.
The trailer came out
And
and it looks really good. I haven't read the book. I've heard a lot about it. I might read the book beforehand, might not, because it seems like something I would read, but I also could just wait for the movie. So I'm not sure, but it looks really good and I'll for sure be watching it.
I don't know if I can't. I don't know. There are some like movies like that where I'm like, I just can't.
What do you mean?
What was the most recent one that came out on Netflix? All About You? Is that what it's called?
Anyone But You?
That one. Couldn't do it. No.
Is it just because there's like a lot of romance?
It's just like I can read about that. It's too cringy. You know what I'm like?
I can definitely see. Also, this might sound like really sad, but like romantic movies, even if they're rom-coms, they make me feel so single. And I'm just like,
Okay, well, that's your problem.
last night I was like, what should I watch? And I was gonna watch this one rom-com I've seen like a million times, and I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling extremely single right now, so we're gonna pick something else. When I read romance books, sports romance, anything, even like romantasy, but romantasy is different because there's like a whole different plot with next to romance, you know. But with just the romance, I'm like, I don't know if I'd want this to be a show or a movie because there's so much smut in it.
Okay, fair.
Like the Off-Campus series, love that series, right? And obviously it's becoming a show and all that stuff. But I'm like, are they gonna like have every single spicy scene in there? Because I don't know. I feel like that's gonna be hard to watch. But like obviously I'm gonna still watch it, but it's like, you know,
obviously I'm still gonna watch it, but
I'd rather read about it, is what I'm trying to say. And watch shows that have like more of a plot than a romance.
I agree.
But there still needs to be romance, because if there's no romance, I'm like, what's happening?
Okay. Yes. Agree. True. Because there needs to be romance. But also, did you see wait, did we talk about this last episode? Alex Astor's romantasy series or book or whatever, adult one that's coming out next spring, Starside, I think is what it's called. Yeah. I'm so excited for that.
I'm so excited. Whenever she's on, like, to write all of this stuff, like, when she does, I don't know if you look at her stories or anything, but she does these Q&As, and she is like, yeah, so I wake up at, like, I don't even know what time it was. It's, like, 6 or some crazy early amount. She, like, starts writing right away, and then she, like, takes a break to eat every now and then, but then she's, like, constantly writing, and I'm like, girl.
No, she's on something. She's literally on something.
Yeah, but like I love that for her. Like I love when like authors become like successful, because I'm like, I know that was their dream for a while, you know, like that.
Right.
Like,
also, books that came out in September. Well, and then there's one that comes out in October, which I don't know if I'm gonna read, but I might. One that comes out in October is called Magpie. It's by Parker A. Garner, that author that we talked to a couple months ago, can't remember. Yeah. I keep seeing it on her story and she keeps posting about it. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
I made a video, which apparently I didn't send to you, I don't think, because I talked about it in that. I was like, books on my October TBR, and Magpie was on there. Yeah, because, you know, when she was talking about it, I was like, this sounds like really good for October. Like, I would love to read that. So it's on my list. I haven't read any books yet, but
yeah, that'll be a good one. And then also The Primal of Blood and Bone up there by Jennifer L. Armentrout came out. Read it in basically 24 hours. Not okay, can't say anything. Basically, I haven't been able to read anything since. I probably won't be able to read anything for the next couple weeks because I'm emotionally not okay. Other book that came out is Every Spiral of Fate. Don't know how to say her name. Mafi is her last name. I don't know how to say her first name, and I don't even want to try. So that's the fourth book in This Woman Kingdom. I don't think it's the last book. I thought it was the last book. I don't think it is.
Did you read it yet?
No, but I don't think it's the last book. I just have this inkling of how long it is because it's not as long as All This Twisted Glory, and I feel like the last book has to be the longest.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not, and I'm nervous about that. And I just went through some other. I'm literally going through the 5 stages of grief right now because of this one. So I can't go through the 5 stages of grief because of this one. Okay, so I just no,
Yeah.
I can't.
I'm still waiting for that to come. I think it's going to come tomorrow, along with Grim and Oro, which is another book that came out in September. I'm waiting to start my October TBR until those come, and then I'll read those two, and then I'll keep like reading and stuff. But yeah, I want to order the prequel series too from Blood and Ash because he told me I need to read it beforehand, and then I'll order the newest book along with that.
Yeah, I need you to read that as soon as possible because we have things we need to talk about.
I just have a feeling that so like I told you that I've been writing a lot in like my own book, but I just know that this month I'm gonna focus on reading because there's so many books. So I'm like, okay, I need to get like one more scene written that I know for sure is gonna happen, and then we're just gonna put that aside and then just like grind on all these books that I want to read.
Specifically this series because Emma, I I cried myself through this book, okay?
And I'm so excited about it.
If I'm looking at all of the books that I read in September, right? I think obviously that one was the most impactful. Shield of Sparrows, we were late to the game on that one. Still a really good one, and I can't wait for the second book. But there's just something about the From Blood and Ash series that I completely forgot about, that it just does something to me that I'm like, I can't function. Like, it's like Throne of Glass, how Throne of Glass hurt me, but in a different way. It's also like the Plated Prisoner series, how that hurt me, but it's also in a different way. Like, the emotions that I feel when I read that series is just, it's not okay. Like, I forget how to exist in real life.
Yeah, honestly, when you were last episode, you were like Castile's #1 in your list. You were so shocked by that, and I'm like, yeah, like, did we read the same book? I remember you loved him just as much as I did. Like, what's going on? And then you read this book, and you're like, you know what? I understand now. And I'm like, did you have brain damage or something?
Yes, apparently, because I was like, okay, I get it now. This is why he is my #2. Like, I am back on the train. But I was just like, I can't even get into it.
There are scenes in From Blood and Ash that are forever in my brain, just like how Fourth Wing scenes are in Throne of Glass and ACOTAR. Like, I will never forget that. Like, I'll forget like the nitty-gritty details, right? But like, there's like a lot of scenes that just fly through my head when I think of that series. Like, there is no forgetting it for me. I'm like, Castile Denier is top tier. Like, there's no comparison.
See, I remembered it all slowly, and then I remembered like I think about it, but I forget, like, for some odd reason I forget that it's them. But like, I know that it's them, if that makes sense. September ruined me reading wise, but it's fine.
The books I finished in September because I couldn't remember. So the first one is If It Makes You Happy, which is like a cute little rom-com I wanted to read for fall. You probably wouldn't have liked it because it's not romantic or anything, but I thought it was sweet, whatever. Now, I read the Wolfcane series. You need to read that.
I know. I'm gonna order it Prime Days.
Yes,
I know.
It was really good. At first I was like, honestly, it took me a hot minute to get into it because I'm like, what's the vibe here? Because something, and we can go into a deeper conversation about it after you read it, but I was like, something's off. Like there's just something, I don't know what it is. Like I figured it out and I was like, okay, good. Like we're good now.
I'm nervous about that one because I've seen Instagram reels and I think I've already spoiled part of it for myself, but it's fine.
Yeah, the second one, the Night Prince, is my favorite out of the two so far.
How many is there supposed to be?
Three, I think.
I can't wait for another book. I can't. I literally can't.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay.
All right, anyways, that's all the book news I have.
That was a long book news section and it's fine. Anyways, welcome back. Now we are talking about Sjm Universe Theories. I personally don't want to hear any negatives about any of the characters except for like one. But I know that there's a theory out there that not everybody, a lot of people don't like Rysand because they think that he's like actually evil. I will not even like go down that road. So,
Okay, my take on that is I feel like, you know, when you read a series, right, and then like you just sit with it for a while or you see stuff about it and then your brain, like your thoughts about it start changing because you're like, what actually happened in the book? Like you forget specifics, you forget like the details and stuff. So maybe
yeah.
that's what people, when they're like, oh my God, he's evil, because probably one person said something and then they're like, oh my God, it's so true. But it's like, if you reread the books, that doesn't make sense at all.
No, it doesn't. Yet people still find things where they're like, he's evil. And I'm like, you people, he would not be the MMC if he was evil.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a difference between like a morally gray villain and like an actual evil person.
Right. And they can have a villain arc and still be the MMC and still not be evil.
If an MMC betrays the FMC, like truly betrays them and hurts them in any way, then they can be considered evil. But if they're like bad to everyone, but like not the FMC, they're not evil in my eyes. I'm like, oh well, they're just doing what they have to do. I mean, they love the FMC. He'll burn the world down for it's love. He hates everyone else. Like, literally, so many people. Okay,
it's like the quote from a book that shall not be named, where the MMC says, "I will be the villain for you, but never to you." More is evil, but I am under the full impression, like I'm on the train that during Silver Flames she was off doing something. And I don't know if it was war or if it was doing something evil or doing something for the Night Court or betraying all of them, but I am on that train. I think she definitely is going to betray them in the next book.
I think so too, but I feel like she's going to be a villain that I like. Like she's going to like, it's going to be like very complicated. I see that word every single episode, at least one. I don't know. I just feel like whatever she does, I'm gonna support her, which is crazy. But obviously, if she hurts like Cassian or Nesta, like no, she's done, right?
What about Farrah and Rysand? Okay,
well,
what?
But
listen, if
honestly,
she betrays her own cousin, I'm gonna have issues.
Yeah, I just don't think she would betray the inner circle, but I also believe that she will do something questionable. Like something is off. Like we don't know a lot of things about her.
Where was she all of Silver Flames? Like where was she?
It honestly,
you would think that she would be there when Farrah was giving birth.
That's true. It's probably going to be like a Tower of Dawn situation.
So where is she? What is she doing? Is she up with Eris? Like what?
I think they explained it like she was in the Winter Court with her friends.
I feel like that's false information. Fake news. I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't know for sure. But also what I was going to say is Rysand, and I totally forgot about this until I saw a clip, like a TikTok about it. But apparently Rysand said that if Azriel was dead and Cassian was dead, Mor was the person he'd call. So she's like very powerful.
She's the number 2, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she basically runs the night court, but like we haven't seen that power yet. Like we've heard it talked about, but I don't remember ever like really seeing her use it.
Yeah, no, because even in the war in A Court of Wings and Ruin, you don't hear a lot about, because she's like the Morgan from the war. You don't hear that much about it. I have a feeling, here's my theory about it, is that she's going to use some sort of, she's going to past trauma, because that's where every villain roots everything from the night court and her parents. And something's going to happen where she's going to try to be quote unquote evil, or the villain, to try to destroy said night court. And then it's going to end up hurting the inner circle, because the night court then will no longer exist.
That could be a possibility, but also Rhys-Anne told her that she could kill her parents if she wanted to. Like,
Okay, so she didn't, so maybe she's still working with them.
maybe. Also, you mentioned trauma, Moore's trauma, and I can't believe I've forgotten about this for so long, but Eris and Moore, I feel like, well, one, obviously I want to know more about them, but I feel like whatever Moore is going to do in the later books is going to go back to whatever the hell happened between them.
I would hope so. I feel like we can't mention, like I wrote the books. Sarah cannot mention these things without then going back and explaining them at some point.
Yes. And also if it was another author, I'd be like, oh, maybe they're just adding it, you know, for an interesting plot or something. But it's Sarah J. Maas, like there's an explanation.
No, she literally does every single word for a reason. So
Yes.
yeah.
Also, I feel like if Moore is evil, or if she had like this master plan, something's going on with her, Eris would take her side. I don't know why, but I feel like whatever they went through bonded them in some sort of way. Like they're like, oh my god, Eris is evil, but like I feel like there's so much more to the story, and he would work with her if he had the opportunity.
Probably. Which I don't like that. But
I do.
also wonder, okay. I also wonder what would happen with Azriel, because they always trusted each other, but then like there's also some like uneven ground there. And I feel like Moore, if she was present in Silver Flames, would have had more thoughts about Azriel training everybody with Cassian. Like I feel like there would have been more like thoughts behind that. I feel like there would have been a little more tension there.
Yeah.
My own opinion. I think she's evil. I think, okay, no. I don't think she's evil. I think she will become villain-esque. Maybe not the villain, but
Yes. Well, she already had her villain origin story. So it's just like she just needs to start that.
exactly.
And
Okay.
honestly, who would blame her?
Oh wait. Okay. You're gonna be on her side the whole time, and I'm gonna be like, no, she's the villain. You're gonna be like, no, this is a gray area, and I'm gonna be like, no, I don't like her anymore.
No, for real. It's gonna be like, oh, she does these like this list of terrible things. I'm like, okay, but like, when's the time gonna come where they're like explaining why she did it? Like, I'm just waiting for her to have her redemption arc now. I love how I'm thinking about her redemption arc before we even got her villain story.
I was gonna say, you're like, I'm waiting for the redemption arc, and I'm like, she's not even a villain.
The next book, honestly, it's either gonna be more during Silver Flames, like, you know, the Tower of Dawn situation, the Tandem Reed thing, or it's going to be Elaine, Azriel, Gwen, like that whole story. Azriel is a prince of hell from Crescent City.
We think.
Yes,
I saw this, but also thought it as well.
Yeah.
And the reason is because of his powers, right? And his siphons. Siphons? Is that what they're called? I think that's the main reason why. When you read the description in Crescent City about a prince of hell, Azriel is said description. And so I could see it being true. I want to know so bad how that could be possible and how he ended up in Valeris and how that all worked out. But we know that the books are connected, obviously.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I totally believe that.
I totally believe it too.
There's a theory, jumping to a different theory. There's a theory that Tamlin is the son of, or like the great whatever grandson or whatever bleh, of Adian and Lysindra because of the ability to turn into a beast, and then also his green eyes and his blonde hair and his temper and all of that. So, but it's not, is it son? I don't think it's son. I think it's like grandson or something.
I don't know, because I mean the timelines, I don't really know like if they move at the same time or if one's slower than the other. I really don't know. We'd have to have more explanation about that.
See, I was under the impression that ACOTAR happened first. No, that's wrong, because the Great War that they talk about in ACOTAR, I think, is the war that Aelin fought. So Throne of Glass came first. But that wouldn't make sense, because if Aelin was dropping through the thing and she saw Rysand and Farah, that wouldn't make sense.
And Feyre was pregnant.
Okay,
so it would have been, so it would be around the same time, but Aelin dropping through the times would have been after Akabor and before a Court of Silver Flames, or just during a Court of Silver Flames.
Or their timelines just moves differently. And like, what if ACOTAR happened so many years before, and then Aelin just so happened? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like it was like that exact moment she fell through.
Yeah, like that exact moment in time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is not a good comparison, but like Infinity War, you know how they have to go to the exact moment in time?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're two different realms of timeline, but they're not happening at the same time. Because I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, but also Crescent City and ACOTAR have to happen at the same time because she literally goes to.
No, because she's coming from the future.
After. She's coming from the future.
That's what I think.
I just thought it was like a different world.
Pause. Whoa.
It's like, tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd. Have a 10-minute conversation about time travel.
Wait, no, I thought it was totally like they were in the future.
No, I took it as it was just like a different realm that had like technology and stuff. But also, the people in Crescent City, or like the beings or whatever who like created it, you know, like who they were fighting, they said that they had other worlds that they were gonna go to and like take from. And wasn't, because Amren's story of like who she wasn't that part of it?
Yeah.
Because then she'd say that her world was, I could be wrong, but something happened to her world, or she like somehow ended up in.
Yeah, her world was either destroyed or she was no longer, like, she was kicked out or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. So I wonder if those beings, I don't know what they consider themselves, but if they have a role in, if they're going to be like the main villains, like how like Thanos was in Infinity War and Endgame.
Interesting. Yeah, okay, Yup, this makes sense. They're all different realms. But at the same time, hasn't there been theories that some of the land in Throne of Glass is some of the same land in ACOTAR?
Yes, I think so. But also, the theory that Lorcan traded in, like in Valeris or wherever it was, I don't know, they're like connected.
I'm telling you right now that ACOTAR came first. That is what I'm saying. Like, I don't, like, even if there's different universes or different realms, ACOTAR came first. Under the Mountain came first.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I think. Because this is either gonna sound really smart or really stupid, okay? Under the Mountain, like in ACOTAR, was the start of everything, right? Was the start of all the evil coming, all the villains, the King of Hybern, all that. All of it started because of Under the Mountain and Amarantha. So I think that Amarantha is the start of everything because not she. The King of Hybern created some of those beings and whatever that could have been the Vogue, because there is connection between that, because I think it says, or there's a theory that some of the beings that were created or some of the things that were happening has something to do with Throne of Glass and the Vogue. I'm telling you, I think Amarantha is the start of all of it.
Compared to like Crescent City and Throne of Glass, the King of Hybern, like the villain in ACOTAR, wasn't as like, yes, they went to war, and yes, there's a book called ACOWAR, but like they weren't in incredible danger, I would say, like compared to the other ones, right? Like obviously there's a few times where I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna die? But it's not like, it wasn't like crazy. So that could have been like just the start. And then as more books come on, it's like, okay, we're going to get to the real villain. Like how the Vogue was the real villain in Throne of Glass, which there might be another villain if it's like all interconnected. But that was like a villain.
Yeah.
And none of the inner circle has died yet. I mean, stayed dead, right? Not that I want them to die, and not that I'm going to like theorize that one of them is going to die, because I don't even want to put that in the universe. But like,
it's already in third, and also said it's in the universe.
Yeah.
Because I've seen theories about that. I'm pretty positive that ACOTAR is the start, because there were things, and I of course can't remember right now, but things that they were trying to create with the cauldron, and that is how they got the Vogue, I think, is like the theory, is the cauldron was the start of that.
I could see it, yeah.
Which makes so much sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because there's also a theory that the 7th queen in ACOTAR that comes when they're trying to get the book or whatever, the Book of Breathings or whatever it's called, that the 7th queen is Maeve or a Vogue.
Yes, I could see it.
So either the Vogue was infiltrating ACOTAR, or Maeve was being created in ACOTAR.
Because all of them wanted to go in the cauldron.
Yes. Oh, look at us go. We're so smart. Look at us go. We are solving the world's problems right now. I just felt like I just had like the smartest moment of my life.
No, for real. I love theorizing things, especially like when it's this big of scale. Like there's so many books interconnected in one universe, and you know that it's possible that things could be connected. So like the theories are flying all over the place.
Well, we also know that they're connected. Like it's not even like we're questioning, like we know. It's the same thing of like,
it's just a question of how connected are they?
Yes. Well, because there's also theories of like Rysand's mom and like all of that, and like who she is and where she shows up and whatever. There's so many characters that we don't know yet that have been mentioned, which means they have to come up at some point. Bryce and Hunt from Crescent City aren't actual mates.
I saw that too, but I don't want to believe it. So
I also saw that an interview with Sarah J. Maas, and she said that they are true mates. So she confirmed it. However, there's been theories out there that in another lifetime or in another realm or something, that she's someone else's mate.
I've heard that it's Azrael.
That's what I've heard. But I'm like, how would that work?
Azrael already has 2 women that everyone's like shipping him, but like back and forth. And I'm like, we don't need any more complications. Like, let's just leave it between Elaine and Gwen.
Well, but let's just go there for a second. Azrael and Bryce would be so good together. Because Hunt gives Azrael, Hunt is just a more vocal Azrael.
That's true. Yeah.
So I could totally see it. Obviously, I love Bryce and Hunt together, and I don't want to like have them be sad and like whatever. But it's interesting that there could be a comment to the fact that in other realms you can have, or in other timelines or universes or whatever, you can have other mates.
Yeah.
So like, what does that mean? Because like Rowan had another mate.
Yeah.
So whose timelines and whose like mating bonds are being messed with? That's my question.
What if, okay, I feel like this probably, someone has probably already thought about this, and maybe I've heard of it. Okay, but a theory I've heard for a while is that Elaine is Tamlin's mate, right? But what if someone messed with it to have Lucien be her mate?
But it's actually Tamlin?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I would want that story.
I would be intrigued by that. I mean, I want Lucien to be happy, but he deserves someone who wants him. So either Elaine has to, you know, change her mind, or he needs to go find someone else.
But there is more pulling for Elaine being Tamlin's mate than it is Lucien. Like, there is so much that points to them being mates.
Yeah, like if Lucien didn't say that Elaine was his mate, then no one would have even guessed that.
Right. And there was no justification. He never said why he thought that.
Yeah. And he like screamed like, "You're my mate," which is odd. It could have been like just bad idea from him, but also it's odd because like the others, like Cassian and Rhysand, and you know, all of the other ones who've had mates, they don't do that. Like it's not like a initial reaction to just like get that out there to like make it known. So I wonder if someone's like messing with his mind.
This might sound stupid, but what if it was Rhysand in that moment messing with his brain so that there was a distraction? Because it was while they were going into the cauldron. I could see that. I could totally see that.
That's interesting.
Also, who else could mess with his brain?
It could be someone who wanted to get back at Tamlin, so like Tamlin will be alone. And I've also heard that Amarantha and Tamlin were mates, but like Tamlin didn't want to accept that. But what if they weren't mates, but Amarantha wanted them to be? And I know she was dead by this point, but she worked for the King of Hybern for a hot minute.
True.
So what if there's more to them working together and more things behind the scenes that happen there? I love using my brain like this. It's so fun.
I also don't like that. I love this, but I also don't like this because you know what I'm realizing? We can't trust any character in this universe. We can't trust a single one, which I do not appreciate. Because I want to trust some of them. I can't. Okay, now that you said that, my brain's going on like overdrive. Because now I'm like, who was the King of Hybern? Because we never got to know his name, did we?
Nope. And it's just like in Throne of Glass when we didn't know the king's name, and then his name was Dorian, and then you find that all out. So like not knowing his name was a big piece of the plot.
But also like if they can travel between realms or universes or whatever, is it the same? I believe that Maeve was the seventh queen. I believe that. So like, are they able to like mold themselves into being different people in every realm? And so then it's the same villain, but in just different realms in different times?
Maybe, but in all the books, it's like they kill the villain. So either they don't actually kill them.
Do we really think that all the Volg are dead?
No.
Do we really think Maeve is dead?
I don't know about Maeve, but the Volg came from another realm.
Right. They came from Crescent City. They came from Hell.
I want to know more about the princes of Hell. Because, like I said, the theory that Azrael is one of them. But also, I think they play a bigger role because in Crescent City, for a hot minute, they're like, oh my god, they're a villain. Like, why are you summoning this guy? But, like, he wasn't really the villain. They're just another realm.
There are more characters that we know that are actually princes of Hell.
I could see it. Imagine, this is, like, the biggest stretch we've taken thus far. But imagine, like, at least one prince of Hell went to each realm to make sure that those beings didn't take over those ones, or to at least try to help. Like Azrael in ACOTAR, and who would it be in Throne of Glass?
The only two that are coming to my brain, but I feel like that doesn't make any sense, are Lorcan or Dorian, but I feel like Dorian doesn't fully make sense.
I was thinking Dorian too because of his magic, but
Yeah.
he no, like he had his own issues. I don't think he was
No.
that big.
I was just trying to think of like characters that we don't know a lot of their background, but they have like this mysterious, like,
plot twist. It's Fenris.
I feel like Fenris is too much of a golden retriever to let that happen, but okay.
Imagine if it was Lysandra. Like, I know she's not a prince of hell, but imagine if she was from hell. Maybe she plays a bigger role. Or Lydia in Crescent City. Her story could be something worth to know.
I believe that yes, I believe that she has more to bring to the table. I'm looking and thinking about these books so differently right now. Okay, I know I said this earlier, and I'm now gonna go against what I said earlier. But Rysand's not evil, but maybe in his past life he was. Asriel, Cassian, and Rysand, when they were all like together in their past life, maybe there's something there that connects to the other books.
I could see it because we have to remember they're like 500 plus years old.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And if I remember correctly, in Crescent City, the end was in the end of the third book. They were talking about all the different, like the whatever they were. I couldn't remember the beings. They were talking about all these different realms and worlds and all that stuff. And I lost my train of thought, so never mind.
I think I know where you're going with this, or maybe it'll help you jog your memory. But there was a woman who went from one realm to the other to escape.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure, I can't remember. It was either in ACOTAR or Crescent City. I think they talk about it in Crescent City. And I'm getting it confused because there's ACOTAR characters in Crescent City. So I'm like, did it happen in Crescent City? But there was like this whole story because like the backstory of those beings were like, that was important.
I feel like hell is like not, it's a place that we've seen before.
I was thinking that too, because I was like, what if it's like, I don't think it's the ACOTAR. What if it's the Night Court?
That's what I was gonna say, but I was like, that's too out there.
Yeah, because who are the 7 princes? Or not 7. I don't know why I just said 7. Who are the
That's Kingdom of the Wicked.
Yeah, I'm getting it all mixed up.
See, I do this too sometimes when I theorize. I then try to theorize between other books that are by different authors, and I'm like, wait, that's not how that works. They don't all just like have a meeting. Like, no.
Sometimes I'm reading a book, I'm like, oh my god, what if it's connected to this thing in this other book? And I'm like, wait, I'm not even in the right series.
Because here's what was just gonna happen. I mean, we need to continue talking about what we were just talking about, but what was gonna happen, I was gonna connect it to From Blood and Ash, because you know how there's like the gods in From Blood and Ash and like the people. I was totally the fates, that's what they're called. I was gonna be like, yeah, what if the fates and whatever, and I was like, wait, that's a whole different, no, that's not what we're talking about.
I definitely have theorized when I was reading From Blood and Ash, like, what if it's connected to these things in like ACOTAR or Third of Class or something?
Nope, that's not how that works. But they could imagine
if they got together and they're like, okay, let's put these things in these books. Alexis, we should do that. We should, after our series that we're working on is over, we should like make separate series and then eventually like throw like Easter eggs in there and then connect them and write one final book like Endgame together.
Could you imagine that though? OMG.
That'd be so good. I feel like people would go insane if we did that in a good way.
I feel like we would need to get enough following before we did that though.
Well, yeah. I mean, you still need to finish your series. I need to finish mine. Then be after that.
And to be separate, a separate series?
It would be 2 separate series, but we'd promote it both on our account, like on our podcast account. And we're like, oh, this series and this series. And then we throw Easter eggs in there. And I don't know how we would do it, but we would like hint that they were connected. And then we'd create a book together, the final book that'd be like Endgame.
I don't know if I have it in me to write another series, but I like this idea.
I think we should keep it in the back of our heads.
Okay. It's going on the back burner. Stay tuned, world. That might be coming. Anyways, No, hell is like I think it's gotta be, what if it's the place where Dorian went in Empire of Storms? No. Empire of Storms? Kingdom of Ash?
The one that he had collapsed.
Yeah. What if it's like something like that? It's not that specifically, but what if it's something like that? Or what if it's where the Volk were, whatever? Like, you know how all of them are coming from like a specific place? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What if it's something like that? I can't. My brain's going on overdrive right now.
That's what I was thinking, but then I was like, is that this universe or is that something else? Because I know in Kingdom of the Wicked, things come from hell as well. And I'm like, what?
I just feel like there is so much that we don't know yet, and that stresses me out because in my brain, we have Throne of Glass, done series. Okay. Crescent City. There's supposed to be a fourth book, but I just read the end. It ends with Hunt and Bryce living a life together. So like it ended. ACOTAR, okay, technically Frost and Starlight was the end, but then we got Silver Flames. So I feel like what bothers me is I feel like we're at the end of all the series, but we're really not at the end of any of the series.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Throne of Glass, they had like a happy ending, and I could be fine with that. But yeah, Crescent City, I've definitely seen people be like, "There's no way that that's the end." I mean, it's like a good like closure thing, but it's only 3 books, and there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot left to uncover.
Also, she's talked about it in her last interview that she did. She talked about how in her contract, I think she has like 3 more books coming down the pipeline. And one of them is ACOTAR 6, and one of them is Crescent City 4.
Oh, yeah.
And I swear to God, I put it into the universe however many years ago. How long have we had this podcast? A year and a half ago. There's going to be an endgame book.
Yeah.
I am calling it because there is no way that in Kingdom of Ash that she would mention Rysand and Farah if they're not all connected, and there's going to be a final book connecting all 3. Like that can't. No, I will accept nothing less.
Yes, but I definitely think the in-game book is gonna take a few years because she definitely needs to have more books and other series, especially ACOTAR, to explain some stuff.
She said in her last interview too that the next book that she was going to write was going to be the hardest and most emotional that she was going to write. Do we think that's ACOTAR 6?
I think so, probably.
Okay, so then who is it about? We're going to be 85, okay? She's going to be a spirit and still writing books. Like, she's literally going to be like in the other world, okay? Still producing books.
Be floating in the abyss and just typing out her computer releasing books.
Seriously. No. Seriously, we're gonna still be waiting for the end of ACOTAR by the time we're 90, okay? Like
Okay, but that's how I feel, taking a side quest here. With Bridgerton seasons, did you see? I sent you that post. So the next season 4 comes out in 2026, and then they take like 2 years to film the next one. So it's like 2028 is the next one, and then 2030 is the next one, and that's not even all of them. And I'm like, I'm gonna be ancient by the time this finishes.
Well, no, I feel like they started filming season 5. Have they not started filming season 5?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I saw that it comes out in 2028. And I can't even think that far ahead. Like I can barely think up to 2026, and that's only a few months. Like I don't even.
Okay, fair.
My brain is constantly running, even if I don't want it to. Okay, and so when I read books, like the Heal the Sparrows, when you were like, don't guess it, like don't even think, and I literally the first 30 pages, and I'm like, oh, Alexis is gonna kill me if I'm right, and I was right.
I know, but you didn't guess the like end.
I didn't guess that one, but like what the one I'm not gonna say, but like, you know,
Yeah. See, that makes me so mad. Why can't you? Okay, here's the difference between you and I. I am such a vibes reader. You are totally the like, I need to figure out every single thing that is going on and all the backstories and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I'm just living my best life in this world, vibing with the characters. And you're just like, I need to know the backstory of everybody and know the like secrets of every single person.
Yeah, I wish my brain wasn't like that. Honestly, truly, I really wish I could shut my brain off, but I can't. So
It just bothers me when I like go through this gut wrenching plot twist, okay, and cry about it and scream and yell and have to stare into the abyss for 4 hours, and you just already knew that it was going to happen. That's what, because then we're not experiencing it together, okay? That's the part that I don't like. We need to experience the gut wrenching plot twist together, okay?
it's more like validation for me when the plot twist happens. I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy with this.
That should be like our new, that should be our new intro. I'm not crazy. I'm crazy, but not about this. That was hilarious.
Would you rather have the ability to winnow, like they do in ACOTAR, or have bat wings? I'd rather winnow because I get overstimulated easily, so having bat wings on me 24/7 would not be good.
What if you're like Rysand and could like take them away?
Well, then that's fine. But if they're constantly there, like, how do you even sleep? Like, that has to be so annoying.
I don't know. They figure it out.
No, winnowing, I would for sure take.
I think I would have to agree with that.
Yeah.
Because then you can jump places and not have to work to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Reading Between the Lines. Thank you so much for listening to us theorize. We could have gone on probably for like 17 hours, but you know. Yeah, so thanks for listening to that. I don't know what we're talking about next. We always just kind of figure it out. But if you do have any episode ideas, let us know in our Instagram, or also if you would like to be on the podcast, please go to our website and put in a little inquiry thing. I don't know why I did that. So anyways, I have nothing else to say. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next time.